Hi, I'm Bob, and welcome to Between the Sheets, where we look at Microsoft Excel and related technologies. I wanted to use Google Sheets to create a sign-up so members of my Dragon Boat Club could put their names down days or weeks in advance to use one of our 3 Outrigger canoes. Each canoe gets its own sign-up sheet. So, on each sheet, I needed 150 columns, one for each date that the equipment will be available. The top of each column then would display a date, and members could put their names down that column. But when you look at a long row of dates, it can be hard to find the current one. So I decided to make the current date highlighted so it would be easier to find. Now you could do this in Excel also. After showing you how to do it in Google, I'll show you how to do it in the Windows and then the Mac editions of Excel. The dialogues are a little different in each one. So let's take a look and see how it works. I'm going to start with the first date in B3, and you can see down column A we have the times of day. So to put in today's date, I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut. In Windows, it's Control semicolon. On the Mac, I press Command semicolon. That just puts in the current date. Let's do some formatting. I'm going to go and make it center aligned, and I want to put a gray background behind it. So I'm going to click the little paint bucket there, and I'm going to choose maybe a medium gray. Now I'm going to autofill it. So grab the autofill dot. I'm not going to go 150 columns. Just in the interest of doing the tutorial, I'm going to do a few. And there you go. You could see we have all the dates going across. Now I'm going to undo that. And now let's go and apply the conditional formatting. So I'm going to go on the menu bar. I'm going to go to Format. And then down towards the bottom, I choose Conditional Formatting. That brings up conditional format rules on the right. Now you see where it says Format Cells If. I'm going to click that drop down, and I'm going to scroll also down to the bottom, and I'm going to choose Custom Formula. And the value of formula, well, that's cell B3, so I'm going to say where B3 is equal to, and I'm going to use the built-in function today, which always reads the current day. So I'm going to say where B3 equals today, an empty set of parentheses. Well, what happens when it's today? Well, there's the formatting style. I'll go and click that paint bucket again, and I'm going to choose bright yellow. See, it happens automatically, immediately. Click Done. I could close this. I don't need it anymore. Now, when I autofill, I can see the remaining dates out in the calendar are gray because I'm recording this on May 27th, and we have not reached May 28th and all those other days. If I go and open this up tomorrow, then May 28th is going to be highlighted and the others will not. Now let's do this in the Windows edition of Excel. So this is the same sheet in the Windows edition of Excel. We have the times of day down column A, and in B3 I'm going to start with the date. So in Windows, to put in the current date automatically, I can press Control semicolon. Now I'm going to enter that. Let's give it a little bit of formatting. I want to make that center aligned, and I'll give it kind of a gray background like I did in Google Sheets. There we go. And now I'm going to autofill it. And also I'm not going to autofill 150 columns, just a few so we get the idea that this is working. Okay, that looks terrific. Now I'm going to undo and I'm going to apply the format. So I'm on the Home tab of the ribbon bar, and kind of in the middle of the ribbon bar, I go to Conditional Formatting, and then down towards the bottom, I choose New Rule. Use a formula to determine what to format, and in there, just like in Google Sheets, I'm going to say equals where B3 equals, and I'm going to use the today function. Empty set of parentheses. Well, what happens when it's today? I'm going to format. I hit the Format button, and on the Fill tab, I'm going to choose a yellow fill. Click OK. There's the sample. OK it. Well, that's today because that's the day I'm recording it. And now when I autofill across, the days out on the calendar are still gray because we haven't reached them yet. And again, like in Google Sheets, if I open this up tomorrow, then this cell is going to be highlighted and the others will not. Finally, let's do this in the Mac edition of Excel. So here is the Mac edition of Excel. And also, just like in Windows, I press Control semicolon to put in the date. I don't use the Command key. If I use the command key, it's going to put in the time of day. So I'm just going to do that. And again, I'm going to do a little bit of formatting. Let's center it, make it gray. So autofill it just to take a look at what we've got. That's fine. Again, I'm going to undo. And now let's apply the conditional formatting. This is different from Excel and Google Sheets. Now, I'm going to be on the Home tab on the ribbon bar, and just like in the Windows edition, I go to Conditional Formatting, and I go to New Rule. Here's where things get a little weird. You notice there's no new rule here. You see where it says Style to Color Scale? This is so completely unintuitive. There's no way that you would know that this is in here. I'm going to hit that drop down, and I go and choose Classic. Now, why is it Classic? Why is that not labeled better? I don't know. So I'm going to choose Classic, and now I hit this drop down, and in this drop down, it says use a formula. So I really had to go spelunking through the cave to do that. And the same formula as in Google and in Windows Excel, I'm going to say equals where B3 equals the today function, empty parenthesis. How am I going to fill it? Well, I'm going to click that, and I could choose yellow fill like that, but I'm going to use the same formatting that I did in the other two programs. I'm going to choose custom format, and in the fill tab, background color, I'm going to choose yellow. Click OK. There it is. OK it, and now I can autofill it. And again, the current date is highlighted and the remaining days are not. When designing sheets for other people to use, the more intuitive the sheets look, the easier it will be for the users, and the fewer questions or complaints you'll have to deal with. So be sure to check out my course, Excel 365 for Busy People. Until then, my name is Bob, and this has been Between the Sheets.